So I'm going to be folding my fabric diagonally like this. My fabric is folded into two diagonally, as you can see from here. So this is going to be the center back, and it's on fold. So this is what I'm going to do. So now that this is folded diagonally, I'm going to try and reposition it and make it look straight. Okay. Using my ties line to guide me to make it be on a straight line like this. This is my center back, and you can see it's on fold, and have aligned it and make sure it's on a straight line. Meanwhile, my fabric is folded diagonally. Okay, so this is the starting point of my fabric. So from this starting point, I'm going to measure the length I want from the measurement we took from the center back to the desired sleeve length, and then plus my sleeve round opening, because the hand is going to come out from here also. So my total full from the center back to my desired sleeve length is 30 inches. Then I'm going to be using 4 inches for my sleeve opening. So altogether on this line, I would like it to be 34.5. So I will ensure I have 34.5 inches here. If I don't have, I'm going to try and reposition it until I get what I want. So altogether here now, I have 35. So this is 35. So I will reposition it again and ensure it's on a straight line. At this point to that place, I have exactly 35 inches. It's 35 inches. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do now, from the starting point here, I'm just going to measure 4 inches downward, 4 inches. Then I'm going to measure down the length that I want from this 4 inches point. Now I'm going to measure down the length that I want for my gown. I want my total gown length to be 62 with my seam allowance. So I'm going to be using 1 inch as my seam allowance. So this is 61. Can you see? Like this. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do now is to measure from the folded edge here on that 4 inches point. So that 4 inches point, so from here to here is 4 inches. So I'm going to just square it. So I'll just square it like this. Then on this my line, I'm going to measure my neck width. I'm going to be using 3 inches for my neck width. So I'll measure 3 inches. Then at that 3 inches point, I'm going to measure 1 inch upward like this. I'll measure 1 inch upward like this, and I'm just going to square it to the folded edge here. Here, like this. The next thing I'm going to do now is just to create like a curve. So like this, just create like a curve this way and connect from this 1 inch back to this 4 inches mark. Okay, this way. Then this 4 inches mark, you are going to just blend it to this slanted line that is coming like this. Hope it's clear. So the next thing you have to do now is to measure down from where you want your cowl to start from. So from here now, from this angle, I'm just going to measure 30 inches downward like this. And at this 30 inches point, I'm going to measure my hip circumference divided by 4. My hip is 42 divided by 4, that will be 10.5. So I'll measure the 10.5 with extra 3 inches like this. Then I'll roll it straight down to the hemline. So for you to have a straight line, you can just measure whatever you have here. Just put it at the hemline like this, and then you connect it together. Can you see? Then you create your curve here like this. Then I'll go ahead, I'm going to cut this out. Hope it's clear. If you have any question, you can leave it in the comment section. I'm going to reply you. I'm cutting out the back. So the back is ready. So you use the back to cut out the front. So you're going to be placing your fabric in a diagonal form again, just the way you folded this back. So I'm going to be folding my fabric in a diagonal form again so that I can use it to cut out the front. Okay, so I'm going to place the back on top of it this way. Like this. Ensuring the folded edge matches up perfectly well here. Can you see? Can you see? Like this. All right. So what I'm going to do next is for me to mark the neck width just as it is at the back, like this. I'll mark it like this. Then I'm going to lift this up. I'll lift the back up. Then I'm going to measure my neck depth from this line. So I would like my neck depth to be 8 inches from here. I would like it to be 8 inches. So I'm going to mark the 8 inches. Then from this point now, you can see this is where the neck width stop. From here to here is where the back neck width stop. I'm going to also come in by 1 inch from that point this way. Then I'm going to connect it to my neck depth. Hope it's clear. This way. So basically the neck width in front is going to be 2 inches, while the one for the back is going to be 3 inches. Okay, so this is it. So this is the front neck, this is the front neck depth, and this is the front neck width. So from this neck width, I'm going to create 2 pleats like this. Just look at the way I'm going to create it. I'm going to be creating 2 pleats like this. The first one will touch this neck width like this. Can you see? Just fold it like this, the way you see me do here. Can you see? Just fold it like this, just a little pleat. Then I'm going to pin it like this. Then I'll create the next one again like this. Can you see the way I'm doing it? It's not so deep, it's just about ½ inch deep. All right, then I will also pin it can you see? Like this. Then I'll place this back on top of it so that I can use it to reshape the neck. All right, so ensure the neck width at the back is matching up with the neck width in front like this. Can you see the way it is? Then I'm going to cut off the shape that I have here. The shape that I have here, I'm going to just cut it and then all around to the M line. So this is the way I'm going to do it. So the pin is obstructing the cutting, so I'm going to take off the pins, but I'm using my hand to hold on to the pleat. I'm using my hand to hold on to the pleat. So it's going to be like this. Okay, so I've cut it out. Can you see? Then I'll just continue cutting out the shape exactly the way it is at the back. Ensure everything matches properly. All right, so I'm done cutting it. So what I'll do, I'll just remove the back, then I'll cut off the front neckline. This is my V line. I'm just going to cut it off. Can you see? So this is the front neckline. Don't forget, later on we are going to be having pleats. If you fold it the way I said you fold it, you will see the position of your pleats. Okay, and you see it's just going to be like this. All right, so at this edge here, from this point I'm going to measure 5 inches inward, and I'm going to notch it. That is going to be my sleeve opening. So I'll just notch it. So if I open it, so this is the back and this is the front. So before you scatter it, from the top I'm going to measure down my waist length where I want my belt to be, so my belt opening to be. So this is 17 inches from the top. Then at that point I'm going to measure my waist circumference measurements divided by 4 plus extra 1. So I'm going to be using 9 over here. So I'll measure the 9 like this. Point I'll come up by 2. That's going to be the width of the opening. So this is the point where I'm going to be slitting, where my belt is going to pass through. So you are going to find a way to just make a cut here like this. Cut at this point, that is where my belt is going to pass through. So if you open the front, this is how the front is gonna look. You can see that cut that I made here where the belt will pass through. So this is the back. If you open it up, this is how the back is looking. So what you're going to do is just for you to place the front right on top of the back this way. Can you see? Just place them on top of each other like this. Ensure they align properly at the 2 edges. Ensure they align here and also here. So from this your notch, you are going to sew with 1/2 inch all the way to where the back neck width starts. All right, then the excess that you have, you are going to be pleating it. If you remember, we create some pleats around that place, so just create your pleat like this. Can you see? So you just create your pleats the way you see me do it here. Can you see? Just create your pleats like this, and then you also do the same thing to the second side. You can pin it. So you pin it like this. You can see where the back neck width starts here. You can see it here. So match it with the front neck width like this, and then you also pin. Can you see? Then when you are sewing, you sew like this. When you're about to get to this neck width, whatever excess you have, you create 2 pleats there. It's having 2 pleats, so you create 2 pleats with the excess that you have at that point. All right, like this. Can you see the way I've done it? So you can just pin it. So you also do the same thing to the second side. So you take to the sewing machine, you join it accordingly. Then I'm going to come back and show you how you're going to finish the neckline and also this little opening that we create in front. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to join it just the way I've explained. I'm joining with 1/2 inch. So I will also join the second side. Okay, so I'm done joining the shoulders together. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to hem the sleeve opening. You can see from here to here, you're going to just open it like this, and then you make your stitch like this. Can you see the way I folded it? So you sew here and also do the same thing to the second side. So I'm done. I will also hem the second sleeve opening. So before putting the collar, this is how it's looking. All right, so go ahead now. I'll show you how to finish this opening. I've not done it. I just put my belt just to see how it's looking. Okay, so I'll go ahead now. I'm going to show you how to finish the opening first, then after that I'll show you how to pull the collar, and then our dress will be ready in no time. The width is going to be 4 inches, and then the length is going to be 6 inches, and I'm going to cut out 2. So you can see the opening here. Can you see? This is the opening. So just bring one of the pieces, mash it together, right side to right side. Ensure it's at the center of these pieces that you cut, like this. Then you just pin it here, left and right. You pin both the left and the right, like this. Then you turn it to the wrong side this way. Can you see? Then you are going to make your stitch like a square, like this. Okay, can you see? Just make your stitch around like this, and when you are done, you notch the corners, and then you flip these pieces here. You flip the pieces to the wrong side. I'm going to show you. I'm going to do it on the machine. Okay, the raw edges of these pieces also, you are going to be hemming it so that it can be neat. You can either hem it or you weave it, but I think I'll just weave mine. Okay. Okay, so I'll be stitching it just like I explained on the table. I'm done stitching all around like this. So you can see I'm done making my stitch. So I'm going to cut through like this. Can you see? So you cut to the corners like the way I'm showing you now. So you see, you just flip this inside this way. You flip it inward like this. Then you just iron on it. You can see I've weave all around this way. So just iron and tuck in your hemming gum, and yeah, that's it. So I'll just put some hemming gum and I'll iron it. Can you see? So your belt will just pass through this point. Your belt will just go through in here. You see it? So we are done with the opening. Okay, so I'm done with the two opening. Can you see? So the next thing now is for us to cut the collar. So first, you can just rule the center of the front neckline to this waistline. So just rule it straight like this. Can you see? You see? So just rule it straight. So starting from here, so you measure from here all around to the neckline, all around to the back neckline, and then back to this point. You measure whatever you get. You're going to cut a strip of fabric that measured that length. Okay, so I'm going to measure now. Starting from here, just measure whatever you have all around through to the neckline, then to the back neckline, then you measure it back to where you start from. So altogether here I have 42 inches. Altogether I have 42 inches. So I'm going to cut a strip of fabric that measures 42 inches in length, and then the width is going to be 4 inches. So I'll cut it out now. 42 inches. I've cut it out. The length here is exactly 42 inches. It's exactly 42 inches. So the length here is 42 inches. So you just fold it into two to the wrong side like this, and then you are going to take to the sewing machine. You are going to finish this raw edge. So you are going to finish the raw edge here. Just sew with 1/4 inch. You also do the same thing to the second side. Fold into two like this, and then you make your stitch. This is the wrong side, and when you are done, you just turn it to the right side, and then you are going to press it. I'm going to just turn it to the good side now, like this. Turn it to the good side, and then you press it into two now. So unfold now. If you measure it, it will be 2 inches. Okay. So unfold now. You can see it's 2 inches. So I'm going to turn my fabric to the wrong side. Can you see? Turn your fabric to the wrong side, and then you are going to fold this strip into two like this. So you locate the center like this, and then you're going to notch. That's going to be your center back. Okay, so I've notched it. Then I will also fold the neckline at the back. You can see this is the back neckline. Fold it into two, and also you notch so that you can locate the center of the back neckline like this. So you're going to match the notching on the strip with the notching at the center back. Okay, match the notching on the strip with the center of the back neckline like this. The notching that you have there, match them together, and then you're going to pin. Then you're going to sew the collar all around the neckline this way to where the front neckline stops. You sew it ½ inch below the front neckline. Can you see? This is the front neckline. Just sew it ½ inch below that point. Okay, you also sew to the right again all the way to the ½ inch below the front neckline. All right, like this. So I'm going to show you how to do it on the sewing machine, so let's go and do it. So this is it. So this is the back neckline. So I'm going to sew all around till the front. I'm stitching together with ½ inch. So I sew it ½ inch below the front neckline like this. Can you see? Can you see? So I'm also going to sew the second side. So this time around the fabric is on top while the collar is underneath. You stop ½ inch below the front neckline. Okay, so I'm done stitching the collar to the neckline, and you can see this is how it is. So I'm going to turn my fabric to the right side so that we can see where our stitch line is. Okay, so can you see where our stitch line stops? You can see I stitched the collar to the neckline ½ inch below the front neckline. Can you see? This is where the front neckline stops, but I stitch ½ inch below that point. Can you see? So the next thing you have to do now is just to cut, starting from the front neckline, you cut in an angle to where your stitch stop here, and also do the same thing to this other side. So can you see? I've cut it. So the next thing now is to bring the collar to the right side of the dress. Just carry the collar and flip it to the right side of the dress. Match the collars together the way I'm showing you like this. Mash it together like this. Mash them out together. Then you can see where my stitch stop here. So I'm going to go up at where my stitch stop here by like 1 inch, and I'm going to stitch close the two collars together with ½ inch allowance. So I'm going to stitch the two edges of the collars together, just the way I've explained on the table. I'm done stitching the two mouths of the collar together. So what I need to do is just for me to turn it very well, and then I'm going to press it. And then you are going to top stitch this part on the body of the dress. Okay, so but ensure you iron it and let everything be flat and nice and neat. If you notice, I've also weaved the raw edges that I use in attaching the collar. Okay, so I'm going to open up, iron it, and then I'm going to top stitch the collar starting from this neck area all the way down like this. Okay, so I'm going to close the side of my dress with ½ inch all the way down, starting from the sleeve opening. Done sewing the two sides, so the next thing is just to hem the bottom part of the dress. So I added 1 inch, so I'm going to fold with, I'll first fold ½ inch in, and then I'll fold ½ inch again, and I'm going to make my stitch. This is the wrong side of the dress. This is how it's looking. Turn it to the right side. So from the right side, this is it. So I'll go ahead, I'll cut my belt. So the width of the belt is 4 inches. The length is going to be twice your waist circumference.